Ali here at mindwavemeditation.com, and this video I'm just going to share with you a little bit about my story, because if you've found these videos and you don't know who this guy is, well, I just thought I'd share with you a few little things and see if it helps you resonate with your own journey and your own path, maybe give you a bit more reassurance, or maybe a bit of inspiration, maybe a bit of motivation, and just to show you that I've got through a whole bunch of stuff, and if I can do it, believe me, if I can do it, so can you. And I don't mean that to sound cheesy, but honestly, you didn't meet me before. It was, So join me on the other side and let's connect. So when I'm teaching students and clients and guiding people and coaching them, often they say, "Hey, I just want to hear more about you," and I can't do it because it's all about them. And as soon as I start yapping, you know what it's like. It doesn't stop. So I just thought I'd condense it in a real small little video about that size, and just share with you a few little things that I've got through to maybe inspire you to do the same if you need the same. Or maybe if you're going okay and you don't need any of that, maybe this will help you understand your kids or a friend who might be going through similar things. So here we go. I'm going to throw it all at you. You ready? Need a smile to start, otherwise it doesn't work. All right. So growing up, I had a lovely family, and they couldn't have done anything to change how this thing worked, but I was very, very slow, simple, if you're allowed to say that, dyslexic, dyspraxic, and school was just incredibly difficult, and it was a real, oh my god, I can feel it, throat chakra. It was just really difficult, and I was basically in fear the whole time. I was scared of the future, and I heard the word exams, and it was just like, I can't do it. And I remember it really vividly, just being in panic constantly. But I had this nice little smile, and I was really easygoing, and I wasn't like a little shit. I was a really good little kid, and I was probably just very good at hiding it in hindsight. So as I grew up, I got through the school system, and it was just, very, very difficult. And what I found I did on reflection is this feeling of lack of self-worth and no confidence and all that kind of stuff. I numbed it with sugar mainly, and that was my crack growing up. And I didn't realize this at the time, but sugar constantly was, if you're a kid in the 70s, 80s, 90s, it was just part of your diet. Nobody knew any better. So the normal kids would probably have a bit of sugar on the Weetabix. I had loads, and then I always was feeding this thing that I needed to numb. And then later on, as I grew up, that sugar turned into anything that numbed the feeling that I never wanted to deal with, the kind of lack of everything, the self-worth and the uncertainty and just all of that stuff. So I got through all that, and I started to get very, very depressed and very, very anxious. But this is before we even really knew what anxiety was. I don't remember anyone saying that word until years later. I just knew that I was very happy on the outside, but inside, very, very, very sad. and very, very scared and very, very worried, very, very fearful. But on the outside, it was fine. And through my teenage years, I quickly got into naughty habits, let's put it like that way. It's a PC version, I feel like. You know, and whatever, just anything that took me away from the sad place. And it did, it really did. It always took me away from the sad place, but then it one brought me back, and it was worse. So then the tolerance needed more and more, and that went on for a long time. You know, I started messing around with things about 14 years old, which is a bit too young, really, isn't it? And around 20, I kind of pulled it back a bit and kind of got through some stuff somehow. Oh no, I know how. I met my girlfriend, now wife. She slowly started planting seeds of empowering me, I guess, to realize, to show me that I was more than just this self-destructive mess. But even then, that took another nearly 10 years. So, long story short, what happened to me was around 25 was these books on spirituality, meditation, yoga, mindfulness, healthy eating, positive thinking, and then my love for comedy, kind of always weaved through, really started to take root. And I found I was getting really good change from doing a bit of yoga. I'd feel different, and that feeling of needing that quick fix, that relative happiness. Remember, we've got relative happiness and absolute happiness. Relative happiness is in the of the Coke can. Oh, sugar. Or the, I don't know what cigarette that was, but it was a good one. You know, or the whatever. We have these quick fixes which just, you know, fill you with those chemicals that you need, or you think you need, and you get that fix, and then you feel okay, and then you get on this kind of like spike that goes and you've got your dopamine and your serotonin and that whole conversation. So I was so sick and tired of those spikes, because the spikes wear off, the highs wear off, because you're no longer getting high and having fun or enjoying the cigarettes or the alcohol or the junk food or whatever. You're starting just to feel really sad and really lethargic and really depressed and really anxious, and you can't communicate with people very well or whatever. And it all piles up, and if you do it for years and years, it just becomes the way you are, and it's not even a choice. Habits become your behavior, and then your actions, then your subconscious actions on autopilot. So by doing this bit of yoga here, a bit of meditation there, and a bit of breath work, and a bit of, what else did I do? And just reading about this stuff. And, you know, videos like this would have been really helpful, but we didn't have YouTube yet. So, you know, it's just books, and I wasn't good at reading either. Another thing, you know, I couldn't, every time I read, I fell asleep. So I wasn't getting the information. And I found the book I mentioned before, Ram Dass, Be Here Now, and another couple of books, and that was all I needed just to make me go, there's something here, in this stillness, in this now. And it was a concept, I had no idea what it meant, but I knew deep down in my soul, whatever, that there was something more to what I was doing. So I started feeding myself all this information. I didn't have an agenda, I didn't know why, I didn't know where I was going with all this stuff, but I knew it felt better than what I was doing. So I was just reeling it in wherever I could. And I started reading books for the first time. I never finished a book in my 20s. I've read like one book at school. I used to skip pages. Yeah, I finished it. I don't know who I was trying to convince, but I never read. I was very, I like music. I was playing in bands. I was fun. It was fun to hang out with. I was always caring. There wasn't a lot going on up there. It wasn't that much to offer, and I used to be very like, oh, give us a bit of that, give us a bit of that, yeah. My friend even used to call me Gizbit. And I think when I heard him say that, oh, right, Gizbit, I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm Gizbit. No one wants to be Gizbit. Hey, give us a bit of that, give us a bit of that. Give us a sip of that. God, just give us a toke of that. God, give us a, save us a bit. Ugh, it's just, I can't even, that person is no longer in this. So it's quite weird for me to try and even think about that person, because it's so, he's dissolved. Thank God. So I started reeling in this stuff. I started doing the yoga, and the absolute happiness started to be more apparent, consistent. I don't know, can't find the words. Another thing, I couldn't articulate words or thoughts. Like, I would never dare do this, you know. Scared of being what people would say and what people would think. The more you lean into this stuff, and when I say this stuff, I'm talking about, did I just use that wrong? This stuff. Did I just do a Joey from Friends? The more you lean into cleaning the noise, working on your bad habits, polishing the mirror of your life. Oh yeah, it's brighter. Yeah, okay, I can see clearly. The more you start doing this stuff, the longer you start to feel happiness. You kind of get moments of joy, and they just start to get longer and longer. And then of course something happens, life happens, and you come hurtling back down to earth. But the more you lean into these practices, these regimes, these good philosophies, these positive whatevers, the more the peace starts to stretch out. And the more you go through life and be able to navigate the flow a little easier. Maybe something really bad comes up and you might react really badly. Still, I do this. In the past, when things happen, I can react very... That's my Leo tendencies. I will take you on. But then very quickly, I see that habit and that behavior and I go, whew. I do my apologies, say, hey, sorry, I was just stressed out, whatever. And I resolve it. I'm very solution-based. So years ago, I used to be the guy that would shout, you know, like, what are you doing? Shut up. Like, you know, like out the window. Or I'd be very confrontational because I thrived in that energy of just like chaos and craziness. Things have changed. But my point with all this stuff is, no matter where you are in life, no matter how severe your problems are, no matter how low you are on this scale of death, pain, suffering, anger, frustration, blah, 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 no matter where you are in there, as long as you start doing one good thing, just add a good thing to your day. All right, here we go. Number one, add one good thing to your day and just see how it makes you feel. Number two, create a list of how you would like your perfect week to be and add a few things in that week, and then go through the week, no judgment, no rules. Just try and do that thing. So you might have running, ×1 run, eat a healthy meal, have a day off the booze, whatever it is. Write down 2 or 3 things and just try. I don't know if you heard another video, but I tried to quit alcohol once and it took me about 5 years and I'd have all these regimes, I'd try and do it and I just couldn't do it, and I kept on failing until one day I just realized if I just did one day off being inebriated, then that would show me that I could do another day. And that's how I did it. And look, I went the other way. I went from my level of doom and gloom and rock bottom to getting through it, going, oh my God, I actually got through that. I feel different. I've shed all that stuff. Life's better. I'm attracting better things because I'm making conscious decisions and making better actions. Life's better. Most people get there and go, cool, carry on, and congrats. I didn't stop. I got to the point where I was like, we've got to tell people about that we can do this. And what else is there? How far can I go on this journey to clear this unwanted energy and this old data that I've picked up and downloaded? And you can do this too. And all it takes is just small, tiny steps. Just tiny steps, but daily tiny steps. And keep watching these videos. Keep watching videos like this. Keep reading good, positive things. Keep watching good, positive things. Keep eating healthy, clean foods that serve your body and alkaline your system. And keep practicing how you're thinking and observing what you're thinking. Are you thinking negatively about people? See if you can flip that switch and think positively about them as an experiment. See how it makes you feel. So I might as well end it with this. Click the link below and start your journey, your Dare to Discover journey. It's a mini course I created, and it helps you find your purpose and just kickstart you on that journey, and it's pretty awesome. In fact, I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't mind plugging this at all. And keep watching these and keep commenting and just see if anyone responds. I'm going to respond. I respond to every single comment. And let's just keep this conversation going. And any issues you have, any problems, any obstacles that are seemingly impossible to wrap your head around, get in contact or talk to someone that you know that's good with advice and loving and caring, and see if you can get another perspective on your situation and see where you can find a bit of light in the darkness, because it's there. The light always comes back up. And it's like you can have a dark room and you can bring a candle in the room and it lights up. You can't do it the other way around. You can't have a light room and then darkness, turns it dark. That is a quote which I messed up, but you get the point. It always prevails. Light always wins. It's within you. Your inner light is just clouded, potentially, if it is. I'm not saying, hey, your inner light is clouded. But if there's anything that you need to work on, it's just a lack of love, or it's clouded, or it's the stuff, it's just noise. And all we really need to do is find the tools to go, tss, tss, tss. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. See you soon.